Stop for a moment before you scroll away, because this message might reach you at the exact moment when your heart needed to hear it the most. Maybe today you woke up feeling tired, not only physically but emotionally tired from trying again and again, tired from hoping that something in your life would finally change, yet the results still seem far away. Maybe you have been praying quietly, asking for guidance, asking for strength, asking for a sign that the path you are walking actually leads somewhere meaningful, and yet the silence sometimes feels heavy and confusing. But what if the silence you are experiencing right now is not emptiness? What if it is preparation? What if the very season that makes you feel like nothing is happening is actually the season where something important is being built inside you? Many people give up during this stage, not because they lack potential, but because they misunderstand the purpose of the waiting season. Life often works in ways that are difficult to understand when we only look at the present moment. We see the obstacles, we see the delays, we see the struggles, and we begin to believe that our efforts are not leading anywhere. Yet the truth many people discover later in life is that the greatest growth often happens during the seasons when progress is not immediately visible. Imagine a farmer planting seeds deep in the soil. After the seeds are planted, the field looks exactly the same from the outside. Nothing appears to be changing. Days pass and the ground remains quiet, yet beneath the surface roots are forming, strength is developing, and preparation for growth is taking place. When the right season finally arrives, the seeds begin to grow into something beautiful. The same process often happens in human life. The waiting seasons you experience today may actually be preparing you for opportunities that require the strength you are developing right now. The teachings connected with the life of Jesus Christ often reminded people that faith is not only about believing when everything is easy. Faith is about continuing to trust when the path ahead is unclear. Imagine a traveler walking through a long valley during the night. The road ahead cannot be clearly seen, the sky above is dark, and the destination still feels far away, yet the traveler continues moving forward step by step, trusting that the path must eventually lead somewhere meaningful. Life often feels exactly like that journey. There are moments when the direction ahead is uncertain, moments when doubt quietly whispers that continuing forward may not be worth the effort, yet those are often the very moments when perseverance begins shaping the strength that will define your future. Another important truth about preparation is that it rarely feels comfortable. When a person is growing, they often experience challenges that test their patience, their courage, and their determination. Imagine a piece of metal being shaped into a strong tool. The metal must first pass through intense heat before it can be molded into something useful. The process is not gentle, but it creates strength. The same principle often applies to human character. Courage, patience, resilience, and wisdom rarely develop during easy moments. They grow during seasons when continuing forward requires effort, faith, and determination. Many people later look back at the hardest chapters of their life and realize that those chapters prepared them for responsibilities, opportunities, and achievements they would never have been ready for before. Another lesson many people learn during difficult seasons is that progress does not always appear in the ways we expect. Sometimes progress is not about external success, but about internal transformation. The patience you are developing today, the wisdom you are gaining through experience, and the strength you are discovering within yourself may be far more valuable than the immediate results you hoped for. Imagine climbing a mountain. The higher you climb, the steeper the path becomes. Your legs begin to feel tired, your breathing becomes heavier, and the summit may still be hidden by clouds, yet every step forward still brings you closer to the top. If the traveler turns back halfway, they will never see the view waiting at the summit. The same truth often applies to life. Sometimes the moment when someone feels most tempted to give up is actually the moment when they are closest to the breakthrough they have been hoping for. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often encouraged people to remain hopeful even when circumstances appeared discouraging, because hope changes the way people experience their challenges. Hope reminds the human heart that current struggles do not define the entire future. Hope creates the strength to continue walking even when the road ahead feels uncertain. And this is why the message today is simple but powerful. Do not give up, because the season you are walking through right now may not be the end of your journey. It may simply be the preparation for something greater that is still waiting ahead. Sometimes when life feels the most confusing, it is because we are only looking at the moment we are standing in right now, and we cannot yet see the road that lies ahead. Many people lose hope not because their journey has truly ended, but because the waiting season makes them believe that their efforts have been wasted. They begin to think that all the time they invested, all the prayers they whispered, and all the courage they gathered to keep moving forward did not lead anywhere meaningful. Yet the truth that many people eventually discover is that preparation often looks exactly like delay. Imagine an artist working on a masterpiece. The early stages may look messy, unfinished, and confusing to anyone who sees the painting before it is complete. Colors may appear out of place, shapes may not yet form a clear picture. But the artist continues working patiently because they already see the final vision in their mind. Life often works in the same way. The present moment may look incomplete and uncertain, yet the process may still be moving towards something meaningful. Another reason many people struggle during waiting seasons is because they compare their journey to the journeys of others. They see someone else achieving success faster, they see someone else reaching milestones earlier, and they begin to question their own progress. Comparison can quietly steal hope because every journey follows a different path. Some people climb mountains quickly while others walk through valleys that take longer to cross, yet both paths still lead toward growth, strength, and understanding. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often reminded people that the value of a life is not measured by how quickly someone reaches success, but by the love, patience, and faith they show during the journey. Imagine two travelers walking toward the same destination. One takes a short path that reaches the destination quickly, while the other takes a longer road that includes hills, rivers, and winding paths. When both travelers finally arrive, the second traveler carries something different. They carry experience, wisdom, and resilience gained through every step of their journey. In the same way, the challenges you face today may be shaping qualities inside you that will become your greatest strength later. Patience often grows during seasons of waiting. Courage develops when someone continues moving forward despite fear, and compassion deepens when someone understands what it feels like to struggle. Another important truth is that preparation does not always happen in the places where people expect it. Sometimes the most important lessons appear during moments that feel ordinary: quiet conversations, unexpected delays, small disappointments, or opportunities that seem insignificant at first. Yet each of these moments can carry a lesson that slowly shapes the direction of a person's life. Imagine a builder preparing the foundation of a house. Before the walls rise and before the roof is built, the foundation must first be carefully placed deep beneath the ground. People walking by may not notice this part of the process because it happens out of sight, but without a strong foundation, the house would never be able to stand tall. The same principle often applies to life. The unseen work happening in your life right now may be the foundation that supports the opportunities waiting in your future. Sometimes people ask why certain seasons of life feel so slow, why progress appears delayed, and why the answers they hoped for have not yet arrived. Yet if every dream appeared instantly, there would be no time to develop the wisdom needed to handle it responsibly. Preparation creates readiness, readiness creates confidence, and confidence allows someone to step into their future with courage instead of fear. Another lesson many people discover when they look back at their life is that the moments they once considered setbacks often became turning points that redirected them towards something better. Imagine a traveler walking toward a destination only to find that the road ahead is suddenly blocked. At first, the traveler feels frustrated because the path they plan to follow is no longer available, yet that obstacle may be protecting them from a path that would have led them somewhere harmful. Sometimes the closed doors in life are not punishments but redirections, guiding someone toward a direction they never expected. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often encouraged people to trust that even when circumstances appear confusing, there may still be a greater purpose unfolding. Patience becomes especially important during these moments because understanding rarely appears immediately. Sometimes the meaning of a difficult season becomes clear only after time has passed and someone can look back at their journey with a wider perspective. Imagine a person standing at the base of a tall mountain looking up toward the summit. The climb ahead appears long and challenging. The traveler may wonder if reaching the top is Even possible, yet step by step the traveler begins moving forward. Each step may feel small, but every step still carries them higher. Eventually the traveler reaches a point where they can look back and see how far they have already come. Life often follows the same pattern. The progress we make each day may seem small, but over time those small steps create a journey that leads somewhere meaningful. Another important truth about perseverance is that strength often grows quietly inside a person long before they recognize it. When someone continues trying even after experiencing disappointment, they develop resilience. When someone keeps believing even when circumstances feel uncertain, they develop faith. When someone chooses kindness even after facing difficulty, they develop compassion. These qualities may not appear dramatic in the moment, but they gradually transform the person someone becomes, and this is why the message today remains powerful and simple. Do not give up, because the season you are in right now may be preparing you for opportunities you cannot yet see. The strength you are developing today may become the courage you rely on tomorrow. The patience you are learning today may prepare you for responsibilities that require wisdom, and the perseverance you show today may lead you to a future that once seemed impossible. There are moments in life when a person feels like everything around them is moving forward except their own journey. They watch others achieving success, they hear stories of breakthroughs and opportunities, and quietly inside their heart they begin wondering when their own moment will finally arrive. This feeling can become especially heavy during seasons when progress seems invisible. Days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months, and it may feel like all the effort, all the patience, and all the hope has not yet produced the change they expected. Yet the truth about preparation is that it often happens in silence. The most important transformations in life rarely happen in loud dramatic moments. They happen slowly, quietly, and steadily. Imagine a seed planted deep in the soil. The ground above looks calm and unchanged, but beneath the surface life is forming. Roots are stretching deeper, strength is developing, and preparation for growth is taking place. The same process often happens in human life. The struggles you face today may not be random, they may be shaping the strength you will need tomorrow. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often reminded people that faith means trusting that the work being done in the present moment will eventually reveal its purpose in the future. Imagine a traveler walking through a forest during the early morning fog. The path ahead may not be fully visible, yet the traveler continues taking steps forward because they trust that the road exists even when they cannot clearly see it. Life sometimes requires that same type of trust, continuing to move forward even when the final destination has not yet appeared. Another reason people struggle during preparation seasons is because waiting can feel uncomfortable. The human mind naturally wants quick results, immediate answers, and clear direction, yet growth rarely follows the timeline we expect. Imagine a builder constructing a bridge across a wide river. Before the bridge can carry travelers safely, it must first be carefully designed. Strong supports must be placed deep beneath the water, and every section must be tested to ensure stability. From the outside the process may appear slow, but every step ensures that the final structure will be strong enough to carry weight. The same principle often applies to personal growth. The patience you develop during waiting seasons may prepare you for responsibilities that require wisdom. The challenges you face may strengthen your ability to remain calm during difficult moments, and the lessons you learn through experience may guide your decisions in the future. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often encourage people to remain hopeful even when circumstances appear discouraging, because hope creates endurance. Hope reminds the heart that present difficulties do not determine the entire future. Imagine climbing a mountain. During a long journey, the early stages of the climb may feel easy, but as the traveler moves higher, the path becomes steeper, the air becomes thinner, and the summit may still be hidden beyond the clouds. Many travelers feel tempted to turn back during this stage, yet those who continue step by step eventually reach a point where the view begins to change. They look back and realize how far they have already come. In the same way, perseverance often reveals progress that was invisible during the journey itself. Sometimes the most important transformation happening in a person's life is not external success but internal growth. Courage, patience, wisdom, and compassion are qualities that develop slowly through experience. Imagine a person learning how to navigate the ocean during calm weather. The waves are gentle and the journey feels easy, but when storms appear, the sailor must learn new skills, understanding how to steer the ship through powerful waves, how to remain calm during uncertainty, and how to trust their ability to reach safe waters again. Those challenging moments eventually create a stronger, more capable sailor. Life often follows the same pattern. The difficulties you face today may be teaching you lessons that will become your greatest strength later. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often emphasized perseverance, because perseverance allows people to continue walking even when the road ahead feels uncertain. Every step forward, even the small ones, still carries you closer to the future waiting ahead. Sometimes the breakthrough someone hopes for appears shortly after the moment when they feel most tempted to stop, and this is why the message remains clear: do not give up, because the season you are walking through right now may be shaping the person you must become before the opportunities meant for you can fully appear. There comes a moment in many people's lives when they begin to feel like their strength is running out. They have tried to stay hopeful, they have tried to remain patient, and they have continued moving forward even when the path seemed uncertain. Yet there are days when the weight of the journey feels heavier than usual. During these moments, it becomes easy to believe that giving up might finally bring relief. But what many people do not realize is that these moments often appear just before a new chapter begins. Imagine a traveler walking through a long desert. The sun feels intense, the road stretches endlessly, and the destination cannot yet be seen. The traveler may wonder if the effort is worth it, yet just beyond the horizon there may be water, shade, and a new path waiting to appear. Life often places people in similar moments where perseverance becomes the difference between reaching the destination and stopping just before the breakthrough. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often reminded people that hope has the power to carry the human spirit through even the most uncertain seasons. Hope does not remove challenges, but it transforms the way people experience them. When someone believes their story still has meaning, they discover strength they did not realize they possessed. Another important realization many people discover during difficult seasons is that growth rarely feels comfortable. When someone is developing new strength, they often experience moments that test their patience, courage, and determination. Imagine a sculptor creating a beautiful statue from a block of stone. At the beginning, the stone appears rough and unfinished, yet with careful effort, the sculptor slowly removes pieces that do not belong, shaping the stone into something meaningful. The process involves pressure, effort, and time, but the final result reveals beauty that could not be seen at the beginning. Life sometimes follows a similar process. The experiences that feel like pressure today may be shaping the strength and wisdom you will carry in the future. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often encouraged people to remain compassionate during their struggles, because compassion keeps the heart open even when circumstances feel difficult. When someone continues choosing kindness despite their own challenges, they create light in moments that might otherwise feel dark. Another truth many people discover later in life is that the waiting seasons they once feared were actually preparing them for responsibilities they had not yet imagined. Imagine a person learning to guide others through difficult paths. If they had never experienced struggle themselves, they might not understand how to help someone who feels lost, yet because they walked through their own challenges, they now carry wisdom, empathy, and strength that allows them to guide others forward. The same experiences that once felt like obstacles may eventually become the lessons that help someone make a difference in the lives of others. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often emphasized service and compassion, reminding people that every life carries the ability to bring hope to someone else. Sometimes the strength you develop today will become the encouragement another person needs tomorrow. As the journey continues, many people begin realizing that their story is not defined by a single moment of difficulty, but by the way they choose to respond to those moments. Imagine a traveler climbing a mountain during a long expedition. There will be days when the weather is clear and the climb feels easier, but there will also be days when strong winds appear and the path becomes more challenging. Yet the traveler who continues step by step eventually reaches heights that once seemed impossible. The same principle applies to life. Perseverance creates progress even when that progress feels slow. Every step forward builds momentum, and every challenge overcome strengthens the courage needed for the next stage of the journey. There is another important truth about perseverance that many people realize only after looking back at their journey. Sometimes the greatest opportunities appear just after the moment when someone feels most tempted to stop. Imagine a runner approaching the final stretch of a long race. Their body feels exhausted and their mind begins to question whether they can continue, yet just beyond that final effort, the finish line finally appears. The difference between reaching that moment and missing it often comes down to a single decision: the decision to continue moving forward despite the difficulty. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often reminded people that courage and faith can carry them through seasons that once seemed impossible to endure. So if you are listening to this message today and you feel like the journey has been long and exhausting, remember that your story is still being written. The waiting you are experiencing does not mean that nothing is happening. The preparation taking place in your life right now may be shaping the strength you will need for the opportunities ahead. Imagine standing at the beginning of a new sunrise after walking through a long night. The darkness may have lasted longer than expected, but the light eventually appears. The same truth often applies to life. New beginnings sometimes arrive quietly after seasons that once felt endless. The teachings connected with Jesus Christ often reminded people that hope, patience, and perseverance can transform even the most difficult journeys. So do not give up. Continue walking forward with faith, courage, and determination, because the path you are traveling today may be preparing you for a future that is greater than anything you can currently imagine.